Are the Minnesota Vikings a better football team than the Buffalo Bills? Is Kirk Cousins a clutch quarterback? And was the Bills Vikings game this past Sunday the game of the century? No. The answer to all of these questions is no. First of all, everybody needs to stop calling this the game of the century. Game of the season? Yes, absolutely. Best game we've had all season, best game we're going to have all season probably. Super Bowl preview? I could see that. I still think the NFC runs through Philadelphia, but I could definitely see these two teams playing again in the Super Bowl. But let's stop saying game of the century. Recency bias is real. Everyone needs to stop acting like we didn't just see the shootout between the Chiefs and the Bills in last year's divisional round, where the two teams scored 25 points in under 2 minutes. Yes, the Vikings just came back from a 17-point deficit against the Bills. It was not as good as this game between the Bills and the Chiefs. Also, Kirk Cousins is having a great year. He is. But he's still not necessarily a clutch quarterback. He's playing a lot better than we've seen him play in the past. He's playing like a clutch quarterback. He may be coming into his own as a clutch quarterback. But if Justin Jefferson doesn't make arguably the greatest catch of all time, definitely the greatest catch I've ever seen, if Justin Jefferson doesn't make this catch on 4th and 18, then the Vikings are losing this game. That's a fact. On 4th and 18, Kirk Cousins goes deep to Justin Jefferson, and Jefferson goes up between two defenders, catches the ball with one hand, makes the most incredible catch I've ever seen in my life. Does that catch make Kirk Cousins a better quarterback? If Jefferson doesn't make that catch, are we saying, oh, Kirk was so clutch, he led them back? If he doesn't make this catch, the Vikings lose. Does that make Cousins less of a quarterback? Is Cousins more of a quarterback because Jefferson makes this catch? Now, look, I'm not a Kirk Cousins hater. I don't hate on the guy. But the fact of the matter is, his identity up to this point has been Andy Dalton with Matthew Stafford stats. That's who he's been. Look at his primetime record. It's been well documented. He's 10 and 18 in primetime games. Since 2015, he has lost more primetime games than any other starting quarterback in the NFL. He doesn't produce like someone who puts up the numbers that he does. He puts up numbers every year in and year out, but the production, the results, they aren't there. They never have been. Coming into this season, Kirk Cousins' record as a starter was 59 and 59 and 2. The Vikings are 8 and 1 now. Look at the offense he has around him. He's got Justin Jefferson. He's got Dalvin Cook. He's got TJ Hawkinson. He's got one of the best supporting casts that a quarterback could ask for, except for maybe Tua in Miami with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill and the revolving door they have at running back. I mean, Kirk Cousins, since 2012, has had 25 game-winning drives, and his playoff record is 3-3. Look at Josh Allen. He came into the league in 2018. He has 13 game-winning drives and a playoff record of 3-3. I'm sorry, Kirk Cousins' playoff record is 1-2. Cousins is 1-2 in the playoffs. Josh Allen is 3-3. He has about half as many career game-winning drives and a much better overall career record, 39-21. Josh Allen has had results as well as numbers. Allen has been in the MVP race the last couple of years. He came in second in MVP voting in 2020. He arguably should have won MVP last season. He had an MVP type year. Josh Allen has gotten better and better every year. And Kirk Cousins, to his credit, also has aged like fine wine, but still, Kirk Cousins never reached the level that Josh Allen has reached. I mean, look at the way the two quarterbacks stack up against each other in this game. If I were to give you Cousins and Allen's numbers with no context, without telling you who's who, could you tell me which guy is Josh Allen, which guy is Kirk Cousins? Let's look at quarterback number one. Completed 60% of his passes, 357 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and a passer rating of 71.8. Sounds pretty good. Let's look at quarterback number two. Completed 67.4% of his passes, 330 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, a passer rating of 78. Could you tell me which one, just looking at the numbers, can you tell me which of these men is Josh Allen and which one is Kirk Cousins? No, their numbers were almost identical. Which I was talking to my brother after the game. He said, "You realize the things you say about Josh Allen and the things that you say about Kirk Cousins." Up next,
Kirk Cousins.
speaking of average, Kirk Cousins is the poster child for that little gray area between good and average. I mean, he's a numbers guy, but
I know,
he's a numbers guy, but he's not a big game player. He's average. But you know what?
He's like right in between. He's a good average quarterback. That's what I'll give him.
He's the guy that if you don't have a top 10 quarterback on your team, would you take Cousins over the guy you do have? Yeah, probably you would. I don't need to be reminded about things I've said about either one of these guys. I stand by everything I've said about either one of these men. Josh Allen's a better quarterback than Kirk Cousins. Take that to the bank. It's a fact. Kirk Cousins has not been a big game quarterback throughout his career. He's having a good year. Good for him. With the supporting cast he has, I would expect him to have a good year. But looking at these numbers, could you tell me which of these men is Josh Allen and which of these men is Kirk Cousins? Well, let me give you a little bit of help. Quarterback 1, failed QB sneak from the 1 yard line. Quarterback 2, 6 carries for 84 yards while injured and was questionable to even play in this game. So that pretty much gives it away. Quarterback 2 is Josh Allen. Quarterback 1 was Kirk Cousins. Their numbers were almost identical in this game. But Josh Allen, he's a better athlete. He's a better well-rounded quarterback. He's a dual threat quarterback. He can help in the run game, which he had to because Minnesota Vikings had Dalvin Cook rushing for 119 yards. The Bills had no running game. Josh Allen was the Bills' running game. That 6 carries for 84 yards by a quarterback that was questionable to even play in this game, he was the leading rusher for his team. He didn't have a 100-yard rusher in his backfield like Kirk Cousins has. Usually, Josh Allen has to be the 100-yard rusher if anyone on the Bills' offense is going to rush for 100 yards in a game. I say all that to say this. Kirk Cousins, he's having a career year. The Vikings are having an amazing season. They're 8-1. They're ahead in their division. They've got the same record as the Philadelphia Eagles now, who finally lost a game, partly due to the referees. The Bills, they're now 6-3. They're third in their own division. Who saw that coming? I certainly did. Anyone that says that they predicted the Bills being third in their division, that person's a liar. That person is lying to your face. So this isn't going to last. The Bills are going to get this train back on the track. They're going to keep rolling. The Bills, I still think they're winning the AFC. They're going to the Super Bowl. And it will either be the Eagles or the Vikings that meets them there. I still say the road to the Super Bowl goes through Philly in the NFC. The Vikings are going to have to beat the Eagles, which means Kirk Cousins is going to have to step it up in a game that matters. Let's not forget, Kirk Cousins' record during primetime games is abysmal. This wasn't a primetime game. This was a Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon Sunday morning game. And Sunday morning, Kirk Cousins is great. Kirk Cousins is as advertised. Kirk Cousins is your poster child for Sunday morning. At night, under the bright lights, oh, Kirk Cousins evaporates like Nosferatu under the bright lights. It just, he hasn't been able to get it together under those circumstances. Maybe this year will be different. Maybe this year Kirk Cousins proves everybody wrong, proves me wrong. Hey, I wouldn't mind if he proved me wrong. I like Kirk Cousins. I'd love to see him succeed. He's a model citizen in the NFL. But I'm not putting money down on Kirk Cousins winning important games. I just can't do it.